Yo, is it for?
It must be time for the Red Zone.
Yeah.
Coming to you live from Atlanta
On News Talk 1160.
You're in the D.W. Campbell Red
Doing
Zone.
it real big.
As Triena the sports chick,
Brings you news and notes from around the NFL.
Georgia State football,
And don't forget about high school sports.
Simply put,
Simply put, she's the best damn sports chick, period.
You got that right.
Oh, yeah, she definitely rocks. I got her on in the office all day.
When do we start?
Let's get things started.
Welcome back to the D.W. Campbell Red Zone on News Talk 1160. I'm Triena, the sports chick. Thank you for joining the show. I've been talking football all day long. And of course, I can't talk football without talking about Arena Football League. The 2011 schedule has been announced and the countdown is on for the relaunch of our hometown arena football team, the Georgia Force. Now, the opening game is set for Sunday, March 31st of 2011, and I am so excited. I must tell you, I've never missed a single game of the Georgia Force games when they were here before, back in 2008. But my guest is probably way more excited than me about the rebirth of the Georgia Force. Joining me right now on the show is the new head coach of the Arena Football League. This guy is the head coach and, of course, a Arena League veteran. Coach Gene Cokinos joins the show. Welcome to the Red Zone, Coach.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
So where do I begin? I mean, the Arena Football, is back here in Georgia since the league folded back in 2008 after, debts forced the league to suspend operation. But in 2009, a replacement league was formed from out the older teams, and then they began playing in 2009 with 15 teams. Now this year, 5 more teams, including your team, the new Georgia Force, opted to join the AFL. Now, Coach Cokinos, it's a little different now with the new Georgia Force team. The Georgia Force is no longer owned by the NFL team owner, Arthur Blank. It is now under whole new ownership. So tell us, who are the owners behind the new Georgia Force team?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think it really has to be clear. This is a really new league. The resurgence of the Georgia Force into the new Arena Football League. It's going to be a little different than it was in the past. It's a new economic model, and right now, like you said, the NFL owners are no longer part of it. I worked in Nashville with the Cats, and we were owned by Bud Adams with Tennessee Titans. 3 years I spent in Nashville. And Mr. Blank had a team in Atlanta. So I think moving forward, right now our owner is one of the reasons this league exists. He sits at the head of the board in this new AFL, and he was actually the original owner with the Austin Wranglers and the old AFL. His name's Doug McGregor, and Doug owned us in Alabama for 3 years. I was there, and since then he's taken on a partner to team up with him going into the Atlanta market, and that's Don Jennings. So I think their vision of this thing is to resurge the whole AFL, as a group with a long-term vision to make this thing last. Because as you mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, that we ran into some economic problems and the league had a fold. So I think the goal and the vision from this new group of owners, and specifically our owners, is to have a long-term vision for the Arena Football League, so it can be here for long-term.
Now, Coach Cokinos, you're the former head football coach of the Alabama Vipers, for the past 3 years, and you guided this team to the 2008 Arena Cup Championship, but you also coached overseas for NFL Europe. So when you look back, Coach, what do you remember most about these experiences?
Well, going backwards, my experience in Alabama first, when the AFL folded, a lot of us were, kind of stuck. What do you do? Where do you go? And at that time, there was an Arena Football 2, and Huntsville, Alabama had a team, and I got an opportunity to go down there and lead that team. And in the 3 years we were there, we had tremendous success. We won a championship. We won a conference championship. We won a division championship. So we won a lot of football games there. And, I think that and it has enabled me to be in this position going into the Georgia market. But I think going back before that, before I got into the Arena League, my years in Europe were just tremendous. I really enjoyed the opportunity to coach out there. And what we did up there is we developed, my job was to develop national players for the National Football League. And, we did that with the local teams. And I think we ended up having 33 players that I worked with, national players of European descent, end up playing in the NFL Europe. And I think 5 of those guys went on to play in the National Football League. So really what we did is try to develop the game in Europe. And my affiliation with them, that was my role to try to develop the national players. So But I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a tremendous experience, both on a professional and a personal level. Getting to be in Europe and just enjoy the sights and the tradition and the history there. But it really prepped me a little bit for the Arena League because it was an upstart type thing, and kind of what we're doing now. I've been through it, so my years out there is really carrying over to what we're doing here.
Now, the Alabama Vipers were Huntsville's longtime Arena Football League team. What made the team decide to relocate here to Georgia?
Well, I have to give credit to our owners, Ron Evans, who's our managing partner. Ron's the current president of the team, but I think they had the long-term vision going back. Maybe I think 2 years ago they targeted Gwinnett as a market that would be an upscale or move forward as far as the Arena League goes. Our deal in Huntsville, Alabama was a small market. It was really geared for Arena 2. Tremendous market. We were one of the top organizations in the AF2, but when we made the jump to the AFL, I think the market couldn't keep up. The league's growing so fast right now with the bigger market teams. Philadelphia's in, Chicago's in, Orlando, Tampa, and so on. I think the move to a bigger market was just a necessity, and for them to see the future, probably 15 months ago, and really set their mark on Gwinnett was just a great vision by them. But I think Atlanta is a tremendous market. It puts us, in my opinion, puts us in the top 5 in the league immediately as far as exposure and just the product itself. I think we're going to have a tremendous team there and the opportunity to attract a high quality type of player. So I think it's just a natural fit to be in that market, especially in the Gwinnett Arena. I think it's a tremendous arena for this game in the AFL. It's a great size, perfect size actually for arena football, and to get in and out of a game with the parking and the tailgate, the whole event. It's just geared for that whole market right there. That is geared for arena football. So I think it's perfect market right now. So we'll see.
You're in the D.W. Campbell Red Zone on News Talk 1160. I'm Triena, the sports chick, and joining me on the show is the new head coach for the Georgia Force, the AFL team, Coach Dean Cokinos. Now, the team is now here. Of course, it's Georgia Force is back here out at the Gwinnett Center in the Gwinnett County area of Georgia. Now, what is your first task when it comes to rebuilding this new Georgia Force team, Coach?
Well, I think it all starts with the players. You go as your players go. So, I think... other than getting, my first goal was to get out in the community. I spent, I came in and out my first 8 weeks. I try to spend 2 or 3 days every time I got into the Gwinnett area and just get involved in the community. I think, as an organization, our goal is to really reach out to the community and really make our organization an extension of the community. We want to be a franchise the community is going to be proud of. So, off the field, we want to do all the right things and be good role models in that whole deal. But, as far as on the field goes, like I said, you got to have better players in the other team. So I think we really hit the recruiting trail hard the last 2 months. And, we're really signing some really quality players, guys who's coming out of the NFL, some veteran AFL players, some young AFL players who are on the rise. I think we got a good blend of talent right now, so we're really excited about the product we're putting together, and I really believe that it's going to be one the community embraces.
Well, it's some great stuff. Now, a personal friend of mine is a former Georgia Force player. That's number 98, defensive lineman Jermaine Smith, who now plays for the Tampa Bay Storm. So only if you guys would have came a little bit earlier, he was on the market looking for a team, but he signed with the Tampa Bay Storm. He's had great success, as you know. They've made it to the Arena Bowl 23, but of course fell short to that win to Spokane. That 69-57, loss out there. But can we expect to see, Coach, any former Georgia Force players from the old Georgia Force team suiting back up in a Georgia Force uniform for this upcoming 2011 season?
Well, I think so. We've signed Will Thompson to date and Carlos Martinez. I think those two guys that have played with the Force. But I think it's really important to note this is really going to be a new league, a new team. So we're looking to come in and really put a new product on the field. The business plan has changed, and I think a lot of the names are changing within the league. There are tremendous players still playing like Jermaine. He's still he's up there in age, but we played him twice last year, and he's as good as we saw him when I was in Nashville. We played him a bunch of times, and I